Have you been playing Deadlock, like a bit of a lost puppy? Wandering around, no thoughts, head empty, sometimes click on creep, make some souls? If this is you, keep listening. We're sending you to puppy school. There's a few timings in games you'll want to pay attention to. Knowing these won't be an instant win, but if you can take advantage of these timings, it'll definitely make you more efficient. Hopefully raising that all-important win rate stat, and getting you ever so much closer to those mythical high MMR games that everyone's talking about. So first up, the 2-minute mark. This is when the small creep camp close to lanes will spawn. They're indicated on the map by a triangle. These will give you 135 souls, and the camp will respawn 4 minutes after it's killed. The best way to take advantage of this is to push your lane just before the 2-minute mark and clear the camp. Together, if you've got a partner. If you're ever in a situation where you can kill your lane opponent, think about stealing their small creep camp. Doing this creates a 270 soul swing against your opponent. Not bad for a camp that'll take less than 5 seconds to farm. Keep in mind that if you're on the right lane, you're screwed and you don't have an easy camp. Sorry. You'll have something to do in a minute though. So, at the 3-minute mark, this is when both boxes and golden statues will spawn. It's good to learn where the boxes and statues spawn close to each lane, as these can be smacked pretty quickly. If you're in the right lane, there's a whole bunch inside the building just to the right of your guardian. If you're in the left lane, there's 4 near your shop. At this point, you've got a little bit of a break from timings for a few minutes. At around the 6-minute mark, the easy camp should respawn if you killed it before. Keep in mind, this will respawn exactly 4 minutes after you killed it. So if you killed it at 2 minutes 20, it's going to spawn at about 6 minutes 20. At 7 minutes, the medium camps will spawn. These are indicated by a triangle with a single line underneath them. When you kill all the creeps in a medium camp, they'll respawn exactly 6 minutes after the last creep dies. So depending on the game state, it's not actually always the best move to go and run and kill the medium camps immediately. You should take into account where the creep wave is and how the lane is faring. You don't want to lose your guardian, and as a result your shop, because you were hitting the medium camp. To talk about value quickly in like a non-stats, non-sweaty way, if you're going to miss a wave of creeps, you probably shouldn't do the medium camp before 10 minutes, as you're throwing away potential souls. If you can jump in and clear the camp quickly, either solo or with your lane partner, go ahead. There's a few camps that are positioned quite close to the lanes, but generally, I wouldn't leave lane to go out for medium camps any further than that. At 7 minutes, the hard camp will also spawn. This is indicated by a triangle with 2 lines underneath. These are probably too hard for you to take, so leave them until you can clear them safely or with a teammate. The ones next to the outer lanes are also quite a bit dangerous, as the enemies are usually close enough to be able to contest. So, 10 minutes. This is by far the most important timing in the game. It's a big one. Lots and lots of things start happening here, but there's 2 main ones you should focus on. The first is that the urn will start falling from the sky and takes 30 seconds to descend. Once landed, you're able to pick these up and carry them to the other side of the map. Don't forget, you won't be able to shoot or use your items and spells. You can still melee though, so feel free to smack any boxes or statues you run past on your delivery mission. The other really important thing that happens at 10 minutes is lane creeps fundamentally change how they give souls. Prior to 10 minutes, both people in the lane get given 100% of a creep's soul value, assuming you aren't denied. At the 10-minute mark, if you're in lane with a partner, instead of both receiving 100% of the creep's soul value, souls will be split between all the teammates in a lane. To put this into numbers really quickly, if a creep is worth 80 souls at 5 minutes, both people in the lane would get 80 souls. The same creep at 10 minutes would only give 40 souls to each person. What this ultimately means is that when it is safe, spreading players out usually means your team will get more souls. If you see a teammate pathing towards some safe souls, it is in both players' best interests if you path somewhere else. Also on the point of creeps, at 10 minutes, 100% of the soul value of a creep is in the orb. This means, after 10 minutes, denies are very good. Shoot them whenever you can. I feel like I'm going insane, just repeating 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. But there's still a few more things that happen at this mark. Pay attention everybody. So the vending machines will also spawn at the 10-minute mark. Punch them for souls, but keep in mind they'll do a little bit of damage. When you clear them entirely, they'll give a bunch more souls as a bonus for finishing it off. The temporary buffs, or runes or whatever, I don't know what we're calling them yet, will start spawning on the bridges near the soul urn locations. These will spawn at 10 minutes and every 5 minutes after. Once you've picked one of these buffs up, it'll last 2.5 minutes. If you pick one of them up just before the 5-minute mark, it means you can stack 2 buffs at once. Mid-boss will also spawn at the 10-minute mark, but let's be honest, nobody's got the team coordination for that to do it on the 10-minute mark. Keep in mind that if you hear this noise, this means mid-boss is at 50% HP. If your team's in a position to contest, go for it and punish the enemy team. Once the Rejuvenator has been claimed, the buff will last 3 minutes. Mid-boss will also respawn 7 minutes after being killed. So, 15 minutes, this is the final timing. This is when the gold earn buffs get buffed. Every buff will get between 30 and 50% stronger. Make sure you're always hitting the gold statues, as these buffs seriously stack up over the course of a game. So, to recap, your map timeline for the first 10 minutes of a game should look something like this. At the 2-minute mark, you do the small camp if you're not on the right lane. If you are on the right lane, try to push your wave and steal your opponent's camp. At the 3-minute mark, hit your statues and boxes, collect the permanent buffs and souls. If you're on the left lane, try to push your wave and steal your opponent's boxes. At the 6-minute mark, you want to hit your small camp again and contest your opponent's small camp. At 7 minutes, if you're not going to miss lane creeps or take tower damage, you should do the medium camp close to lane. Finally, the big one, at the 10-minute mark, you should start doing the urn, spread out and farm across the map to maximize souls, and smack vending machines. This isn't really a strict, you must do this guide. Every game of Deadlock is unique, there's situations where it'll be better to do things differently. This is more just so you're aware of the big things that are happening around the map at each moment in time. If you've learned something from the video, leave a like and subscribe. Some more Deadlock coming your way soon. I'm also streaming on Twitch if you'd like to come say hi. Thank you and good luck.